was built to last. With the webs I'm weaving, I could change the past. With all I will achieve, it got my foot on the gas. Never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna end.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one.
Good morning, y'all. It is the day before the cabin trip. And honey, whenever I say I am in a very good place this morning mentally, oh my God, I had a conversation with my sister and she had me laughing. This is my older sister, about you know, my parents and some good times that we have. Y'all, I'm stopping at the Varsity. Judge your mama. Judge your mama. But yes, I'm stopping at the Varsity. Hi, can I get a chili cheese slaw dog?
A chili cheese slaw dog, anything else?
Let me get a glorified. Ooh, good Lord, y'all are expensive. Let me get a glorified burger, an order of onion rings, and a regular size Varsity orange, and an apple pie.
Okay, so we have a chili cheese slaw dog, a glorified, an apple pie, and a medium Varsity orange.
Yes, and can I add can I just go ahead and add chili to my glorified burger?
You want to add chili to what?
The glorified burger.
Okay. Anything else?
That's gonna be it, darling.
Okay, your total is $15.87.
Thank you. So honey, I had to let y'all hear how expensive it is to eat at the Varsity. Baby, it is no punk. Do you understand me? $15 for these little bitty. If you're from Atlanta, you know about the Varsity. A lot of people talk stuff about the Varsity, saying it's nasty and all this other great stuff.
$15.87 is your total.
Thank you. And it's not the best, but it's a staple. And so, hi, thank you. It is a staple here in Atlanta. It is a pastime like so many other things. Did you put me some onions and ketchup and mustard in there?
There's ketchup, onions, and mustard in there.
Okay, thank you. And hold on, y'all. I gotta double check my order. She got onions. She got. I knew she wasn't gonna give me the baby. There ain't enough ketchup. This not enough ketchup. Here. Where is my best cheeseburger? Excuse me, you didn't put my onion. There's no onion rings in here.
Onion rings?
Yeah, I ordered onion rings.
I didn't charge you for the onion rings.
Y'all, I know I said onion rings.
$3.57?
But I'm not gonna get an attitude because people make mistakes. So basically, for a chili cheese slaw dog, apple pie, onion rings, and a glorified burger and drink, I just dropped a grand total. Let's see, one was $15.87, we'll say $16. And one was $8.57. So basically, we're just gonna round that bitch up to $20. And I'm about to pull up here and show you what you get What you got? What you got? What is what they what do you have? Is what they usually say. And so I'm about to show you what you get in Atlanta from the Varsity for $20. First, she put it in a separate box. These are the onion rings. But baby, whenever I tell you, these right here are some of the best onion rings in life. They are. This is a glorified burger. Fried apple pie. These are so good. Chili cheese slaw dog. And then you always have to make sure that they give you plenty of fresh onions. I love onions. And then they got the Varsity orange. What do you have? So I'm about to sit here and, because I don't want to drive and eat, I'm about to sit here and enjoy my food. And I will check back in with you guys later. Next stop, I'm at Sugarloaf Mills in Gwinnett. Let's see what they got. Oh, child. Whenever I say, now I'm already tearing my own butt up because we know that I'm supposed to be working on losing weight. And we know that I stopped and got some Varsity, which I didn't have no business getting. But I don't know what it is. It's just a childhood memory of nostalgia. And then this morning, me and my sister was talking, and we was talking about, childhood memories and stuff like that. And honey, what was it called? Chicken in a chick. Anyway, I can't think of the name of it. But she was saying that when she was little, she said it was before I was even born, that my, I'm trying to adjust this camera. I'm trying to tilt it, adjust it. Y'all, I got on the t-shirt that Sharon made for me, my girl Sharon, Southern Girl on YouTube. The one that says date them all. That's the sweater that I have, the t-shirt that I have on today. But we're going to have a story time, but let me go back to what I was saying before. So my sister, she had me cracking up. She just, me and my older sister, we have been really leaning on each other to get through this grieving process. We have good days, and then we have some really bad days. And even though she's 9 years older than me, she's a Cancer, I'm a Scorpio, we're water signs, we're both emotional, and we just feed off of each other. And it's just really blows my mind how I can be having a moment and my phone will ring and it'll be her. Or she'll be having a moment and something in my soul says, just call your sister. And I mean, I guess it's because we share the same DNA. We had the same mom and dad. And so we just feel each other. But I'm her baby girl. That is her. Anytime you hear me say thuster, because I couldn't say sister, and I was missing my teeth. And so I used to say duh. So I call her Tuta. That's my blood sister, my only blood sister, born of me and my dad. So anytime I say Tuta, you know I'm talking about my older sister, my blood sister. And for me, I am baby girl. That's what she called me. My nickname is Lily. That's what my whole family calls me, Lee or Lily. So this morning, she and I was talking, going down, memory lane and stuff. And she said when my mom and dad, when she was little, I was just, as my mom say, a speck of dust in the air. She said that there used to be a drive in fast food spot on, did she say Simpson Road in Atlanta? If you're from Atlanta, you know about Charles Disco. Charles Disco make Simpson Road come alive. But anyway, she said that it was called chicken something. Anyway, it was just like the Varsity. That's what I'm going to circle it back because I went to the Varsity today, and I'm going to tell you how I ended up at the Varsity. So I was talking about how I used to love for us to go to the Varsity whenever, we were younger. My dad used to love to go to the Varsity, and she was saying, yeah, because, Dad, whenever he would come home, because sometimes he wouldn't come home for days, was drunk, so he'll come home with a box of those Varsity hot dogs. She said, Dad is who taught me how to eat chili slaw dogs. And so she said, and I was like, yeah. I said, because I used to love whenever we would go to the Varsity. Dad would take us to the Varsity, and we pull up at the little drive. It was kind of like, if you guys remember Happy Days, I'm really telling my age. Happy Days had the girls on roller skates, and they put the tray in your window. Okay, so that's what the Varsity used to be. The Varsity used to be like that too, where you could just pull up, you place your order, or either the server person come out. They either had a little box there, server person come out, and you place your order. They go inside and get your order, and there's they put a tray on your window, and that's where they put your food on. So, and they still had it until I believe COVID, and COVID just shut down a whole bunch of stuff, and they never brought it back. So now you have to go in. And there's only two Varsities. There's the one that's downtown, and then there's the one that I went to that is in Norcross. So we were just going down memory lane, and that's how that came up. So then she proceeds to tell me there used to be a place on Simpson Road in Atlanta where it was the same concept, except they had go-go dancers in cages, clear in cages or clear boxes or whatever. And when I said that, blew my mind. Like she said, I was just a little speck of dust in the air, so I wasn't even born yet. And I'm like, what? I'm like, Daddy used to take Mama where they had the go-go dancers at. She was like, I said, no, I said, what did Mama say? She was like, well, hell, she was with us. She would be in the back seat. Mama and Daddy be in the front seat. And she said, hell, I was eating. That's the only thing I was thinking about was eating. And they would have the go-go dancers. The go-go dancers would be in the cages. I guess that was the entertainment. She was like, but it wasn't sexual. They had on their little poom-poom shorts and the white leather boots. And they was just, dancing. So that was like the innocence of our childhood. And so today, whenever I, went and did what I had to do first get my car service, I said I was going to come out to Discover Mills to check out, some things that I needed to get, because there's a theme with the cabinet. And I want to make sure that I have everything on theme. Mind you, they have a 70s party, and I still haven't gotten my 70s stuff. I got to figure it out. But, so that's why I ended up stopping at the Varsity. From the conversation that my sister and I had earlier today, It brought back a sense of nostalgia. It is hot. Y'all, let me tell you something. I'm jumping subject again, honey. It is hot in the A. Right now, outside, 79 degrees. What? What in the heck? Hold on. Let me see what it's saying on my phone. Gatlinburg is 70. Charlotte 71. On my phone, it's saying in Atlanta it's 73 degrees. Now, in my car, it's saying outside is 79 degrees. But, of course, heat blowing down on the motor is not going to give you a true reading. But the fact that it is actually 73 degrees in Atlanta is crazy work to me. So, fell all the way off today. Stopped at the Varsity. Then they got $3. Dunkin' Donuts had $3 iced coffee. So I'm just all off kilter. And while I was in there shopping around, I'm fussing at myself like, Chloe, you really got to get it together, because I done tried on different stuff and I started finding myself just getting depressed, realizing that you in denial about how big that you have gotten. We're going to work it out. We're going to pray on it. We're going to make some changes. We ain't going to keep talking about it. We're going to do it. Okay, so just now as I was writing, and I also have been responding to a lot of your comments that you've made on my video. Thank you so very, very much. You know what? I actually want to thank the young lady. I say young lady, but I really don't know how old she is, because to be quite honest, a lot of people don't have pictures, they just have a name. But I just refer to her as a young lady. I don't know how old she is. She could be my age, she could be younger, she could be older. I don't know. But I'm going to call her a young lady. But I'm going to say thank you to that young lady for making the comment that she made, because maybe by her making that comment, gave me the wherewithal to have the conversation that I had about mental illness, and about the conversations the dialogue that you've had back with me, where you've said, a lot of people have a lot to say until, it happens to them, or, it's easy to have, something to say about something until when you haven't experienced it or gone through it. Or it's easy to have something to say whenever you're younger, but baby girl, just keep living. And that's my biggest thing. I've talked about it on the channel before, even with me playing kickball. I remember when I started in 2012, I was referred to as that old lady. But then now I'm looking at some of the people who had that to say, and now they're in their 30s. I'm sorry, they're in their late 30s. One person is having her 40th birthday trip this year. And some people that were in their late 30s are now 50. So it's funny I'm not gonna say it's funny to me, but it's true. Just keep on living. Just, if God is willing, just keep on living and pray that you get to be where I am. So as I was just driving a few minutes ago, something came to my mind, and I wanted to have another story time. And this story time picks up from a story time where I had a conversation that I had before, where, I was talking about the gentleman that I ended up dating for a off and on, who I met on a dating app, and he asked me, could he move in? And I'm like, no. And, I told you guys that he's a very good guy, that he would give me his whole paycheck. The only thing he needed was money for, for lunch, gas money, and to buy him some trees. That's it. I still see him as a really good guy, but he just has some things that he needs to work through. Actually, he comes up on one of my other Instagrams, and I was, he's doing really good. Even before we broke up this last time, he was doing very, very, very well, even though he was still living in an extended stay, and could afford to really buy him a house. he was doing very well. That's not I no longer judge that situation because he's doing what he's comfortable with. And if he's happy, then that my opinion or anybody else's opinion doesn't even matter as long as he's happy. That's all that matters in this life. Now, can I deal with that? No. But if you're happy, I'm happy for you for being happy because happiness is so hard to find. So there's that. So, but he made me think of a story time conversations I have with you guys. So he and I broke up and tried to get back together a couple of times. One of the times that we had started back seeing each other, and this is really where the snoring came in. And we kind of like, I just noticed that he kind of like drifted. And as he was drifting, I was okay with him drifting because I was tired of that snoring. That snoring was driving me bananas. So during that time, we had dated before, but I had never told him that I had been molested. Okay, hold on just a second, guys, because I need my phone, my camera is going dead and I need to plug it in. Overheated, unable to charge. Okay. It's not going to charge. So, and if it starts over, I might have to stop and start back because it's saying that it is going dead, but it's saying that since it's in the sun, it's not able to charge. So I'm going to talk fast and then I might have to stop and come back, but I'm going to go as far as I can. So, we had started, I understand we had started drift, and I was cool with that because that snoring was getting on my nerves. That. So, during that time, when we had got back together, that time, I was I told you that he was very endowed. He was unbelievably endowed. He was, just breathe, Chloe. Just breathe, Chloe. It was only one position that we could do. And that was the position that allowed me to control everything. Riding. Because anything else was nearly impossible. Let me just say that. I mean, it was for him. He said that it is not a blessing. He said it is a curse. Yeah, it's that bad. So beer can. Yeah, it's that bad. So he but the thing is that even with that situation, the foreplay wasn't what I needed it to be. And I'm no longer the type that will just accept anything. I speak out and I speak up for myself when it comes to intimacy because I have finally reached a point in my life where I enjoy sex. And now that I have experienced the enjoyment of sex, I am very vocal about what my needs are because now I know what my needs are. Before, for most of my earlier life, I didn't know what my needs were because of the trauma that I had experienced. But now that I've gotten past that trauma and know what satisfies me, you ain't going to shortchange me. I'm going to let you know what I need. I'm not like, you need to do this, you need to do that. I'm not that type of, that's not my thing. But I would be like, baby, I need more of this. I need more of that. If you don't pick up on the cues by my sounds and my moans and my yes and don't stop. I don't understand brothers these days because you'll be like, yes, and they'll switch positions. You like right there and they'll switch positions. Or foreplay is extremely lacking. I don't know what is going on, but foreplay is exceedingly lacking with a lot of men these days. As we've gotten older, foreplay has gotten worse. I don't know why. I don't know. So with him, he was, I would say, a lazy lover. Just because you can't, that doesn't have anything to do with foreplay. Just because you can't hit it from the back because that's just too much. Just because you can't do the missionary or side, that's because that's still too much. Doesn't mean that you can't go through all the necessary things to get me there. Actually, you might be able to do more if you made sure that I was completely saturated. And look at titty and look at titty and eating coochie is not, that's not foreplay for me. I need the sensuality of it. Ladies, I might be sharing too much, but I'm just keeping it a buck. So, oh, my charger is almost dead. Good Lord, child, I am having a time today. Okay, so I'm plugged in here. So, foreplay is not just necessary, baby. For me, it is mandatory for me to be satisfied. So his foreplay was extremely lacking. Then, considering that for the most part he was in the lazy boy position, I mean, that I was doing a lot of the work, and I had that conversation with him. And I think that when we first started, when we first dated the first couple of times, he was better. He was better at foreplay, but it was never what it needed to be, especially have such a powerful tool. So we had the conversation. I told him what I needed from him. He would do better first 1 or 2 times, and then he would go back to being lazy. So then we finally had a conversation where I explained to him why I really needed a lot of foreplay. I explained to him that, I had gone through the traumatic experiences that I had and how it had taken me a long time to really figure out what it is that pleases me, and also to be able to enjoy intimacy. And because it took so long for me to figure it out, now that I knew, this is what I need. And I used to encourage him, baby, right there, baby, can you, why do I have to tell you that, my nipples are the most sensitive thing on my body. Why do I have to tell you that you need to spend more time there? So I explained to him what had happened in, my past, and why I really needed a lot of foreplay. It take longer for me to get there than your average bear. So after we had that conversation, we, and then, like I said, we started drifting apart. And then we just let it dissolve. So a couple of, I don't even know if it wasn't even really a good month or so, I start to see pictures. I said, no, it might have been, it was over a month. I started seeing pictures on his social of him with a woman. She was a beautiful chocolate sister. She was fine. And everything. And she referred to him as her handsome face. And this was actually coming up on his 50th birthday. And they were traveling. They were going to Florida to see his mom and going to the concerts and all this other stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, it pinched. It pinched. I'm human. It pinched. Even though I wasn't satisfied with the intimacy and the snoring was driving me crazy, I knew that she had gotten a good man. I'll never take that away from him. He's still a good man. And so, of course, it made me like, Chloe, could you have work through the snoring? Could you have worked a little bit longer with the intimacy issue? Because apparently she's putting up with the snoring, because that snoring wasn't going nowhere. And I doubt that his intimacy is any better with her than it is with him. And she was a little old thing, so I don't know how she was taking that jackhammer, honey. But kudos to you, girl, because woo. So, I watched from the sidelines. I was, happy with him. I'm sure, I later found out he did move in with her. It is what it is. So, as usual, and this is how he and I usually end up connecting back. One day, it was like a year later. Now, mind you, she done threw him this huge 50th birthday party. It was, they had the black, it was the black tie. It was everything. And I'm like, girl, you did that. One thing I'll always do is I'll always give props where props is due. Whether it's to my ex's wife, his girlfriend, whoever. I'll give props where props is due. I'm just not that chick who holds grudges or any type of animosity towards the man or his new boo. That's just not me. I'm just not that chick. I don't know. It's something in me that I just don't know. Maybe something wrong with me. So out of the blue, he reaches out to me. It had been like a year or so since we had parted ways the last time. He reaches out to me and, hey, Chloe, just checking on you. Hey, what his name is. What's going on? How you doing? Whatever. So we go back and forth, whatever. And he's like, I miss you. I responded, I was like, but you're supposed to be in a relationship to my understanding. And he's like, no, it didn't work out. We're not together anymore. Blah, 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 blah. I really would like to see you and catch up. No biggie to me. Okay, fine, cool. So we get together, we catch up, we talk, whatever. We start talking, conversing again. And then eventually, now let me stop here and say this real quick. You're not me, I'm not you. So what I do that you wouldn't do is on you. But I'm going to do me regardless of what you doing you consists of. So before you say I don't do repeats, I don't backtrack, I don't do this and I don't do that, then kudos to you. I salute you. But I'm not you. So he and I started seeing each other again. Like I said, when we're together outside of the bedroom and outside of that snoring, we have a really good time because he's just a really laid back, cool type of dude. It's just, he's like, baby, he's one of those, baby, whatever you want to do, wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do, let's do it. That's just him. He don't put up no big fuss. He's not the type that's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to watch that. That's girl stuff. He don't care. If I say I want to go play put in 20-degree weather, he'll be like, well, shit, bundle up, let's go. Buckle up, buttercup, let's go. That's him. And he's very, very handsome. Extremely handsome. Goatee, gray, chocolate, slanted eyes, fine, pretty feet, nice hands. Yeah. So, what is traffic looking like? A hot mess. So, we start back seeing each other again. And he's still damn snoring. But we had been seeing each other for like a month or so or something like that. And a conversation that he and I had been weighing heavily on me. And as things progressed, it continued to weigh heavily on me. And I'm going to tell you what that conversation is. When we started back seeing each other that last time, you know, I told him, I said, you know, I keep wanting to say his name, and I need to make sure I don't say his name. I'm calling him Sam. I said, Sam, you just, you know, all of a sudden you got distant on me, and then you were, you know, you disappeared, and we didn't officially just break up. We just kind of like drifted apart. I said, and then like a month and a half later, I'm saying you all over social media with another one, you know, with a woman. I'm like, I feel like, you found somebody else, and you weren't man enough to tell me that you decided to see somebody else. So this is what he told me. He says to me, he said, Chloe, I'm going to be honest with you. He said, because so what happened was, I got to back it up. When he and I started talking, when he first told me that they had broken up, he said that he didn't trust her. And I'm like, you know, what happened? He said that a family member had SA'd his daughter, and his daughter had told his girlfriend, has SA'd the daughter when the daughter was younger. And his daughter confided in his girlfriend, and his girlfriend didn't tell him. The daughter asked the girlfriend not to tell her dad. She would tell him in her own time. And the girlfriend honored the daughter's wishes. So he was so pissed off because the girlfriend hadn't told him, and he said that he couldn't trust her. And he also said to me, Chloe, now I understand what you went through when you told me what your cousin had done to you, and also, you know, the other situation. He said, now I understand. He was like, because he said, I was so angry. He said, I could just take that other person out of this world forever. And he was like, you know, he was just saying that he was still having to process it and deal with his anger behind it. And then he tells me that part of the reason that he got distant when we broke up that last time was because he couldn't handle the confession I had made to him, even though I told him I felt like that was an excuse. He said he couldn't handle the confession I made to him about what had happened to me. He was like, he couldn't, he felt like he was violating me whenever he touched me because of what I had been through. And he said that he couldn't deal with that. And that's why he got distant. Okay, so let that sink in. But once he found out that it had happened to his daughter, only thing that he could think about was to have a conversation. He wanted so badly to reach out and have a conversation with me to help him through it and to deal with processing the feelings that he had and the anger that he had toward his family member who had done it to his daughter. So when he told me that, first of all, I had so much compassion for his situation and his daughter. I talked to him about what it's like from a woman's standpoint who's experienced it, things that she may be doing, things that she may go through, emotions that she may have, things that may happen that you guys don't understand. And she probably doesn't understand the reason why. I'm going to say this. Some women who are promiscuous, who have been SA'd, it's not that they want to be that way. Is that they're searching for a feeling. They're searching for the pleasure that they hear other people say is supposed to come from intimacy that they can't seem to experience. And they can't experience it because their first time, or even at that time, was so traumatizing. There's no pleasure in it. And since there's no pleasure in it, and especially whenever it's taken away from you at such an early age, you battle between feeling guilty if you feel a little bit of pleasure. You battle with being angry. You battle with feeling nasty and disgusting. You battle with feeling like a whore. But at the same time, you want to experience the love and the intimacy and the pleasure that was taken away from you. And so you go through life searching for that feeling, that emotion, that you go through life searching for what was taken from you. And so that's why some women, and I'm jumping again, but I'm going to say this, that's why the movie, for Color Girls, that Tyler Perry put out, every character in that movie, and we will talk about it at another time because I can have a story time for every character in that movie, including Janet Jackson's character who caught HIV from her partner. No, I'm not HIV positive, but I've dated two men who later on in life became HIV positive. And so I can relate to every character in For Color Girls. That movie is very emotional for me. Very, very, very emotional for me. Even the Whoopi Goldberg's character, the mother, because I can relate to that as well. So, okay, I'm at 20%, so I still got 20% left on my phone, on my camera. So, and this is going to be a very long video. Y'all bear with me. I hope you can stick around to experience it. So that sat with me because my first, in these types of situations, my first thoughts, my first care, my first concern is for the victim and anybody that's been involved with the victim. And then I process my own personal feelings about it later, which is what happened with me and him. So when he said to me, now I understand what, I understand what you went through, or this, that, and the third. My main concern was him and his daughter and all of that. But as the days went by and as the weeks went by and we, continued to date again, that was for the third time. It just really sat with me. And so number one, snoring was killing me. And then the fact he was living in an extended stay. Why you make six figures? Why are you still staying in an extended stay? And then the terrible intimacy. And then put this on top of it. So this is my conversation with him whenever I broke up with him. This time it wasn't any drifting apart and, me being happy because I didn't have to officially break up with him, that he just got distance and I just let it fall. This last time I end up having a conversation with him and I said, it really hurt my heart whenever you said to me that the reason that you drifted apart and we, the last time you said it wasn't because of another woman, even though deep down inside, I feel like the woman that you ended up in a relationship with, I feel like it was some overlap and you started seeing her, and that's, was a contributing factor. But also the fact that you telling me that you couldn't deal with my confession to you that I had been essayed and touched by my cousin was something that you couldn't handle. And so instead of, as my man, being there, you would walk away from me. I'm like, how do you think that would make me feel to let the man that's supposed to be my man, my protector, you can't handle something so intimate that I confess to you, that you would just walk away and just leave me hanging? I said, that don't sit too well with me. But what bothers me even more is the fact that now that it's at your front door with your daughter, you want to turn to the very person that you walked away from to help you process your feelings and get through your situation. You walked away from me, but now that it's at your front door, you feel like I should be your comfort. I should be your confidant, that I should help you process your feelings. I'm giving you advice for your daughter and, you and all this other stuff. But you walked away from me. And I told him, I said, that don't sit well at all in my spirit. That really, that hurts. That hurts a lot. So that means that I can't trust you. I can't trust that. I can't. When we talk about submission, when we talk about submission, that's one thing I have a conversation with men about often. You want someone that's going to submit to you, but for me to submit to you means that I am entrusting you to make the best decisions for you, for me, and for our life. That's what submission is. Submission means that you, as the man, want to be the lead. You have our best interest at heart. I can't submit to you because you walked away from me whenever I told you something that was so important and intimate for me. What in the world is going on here? Looks like they just had an accident. Did somebody hit and run? Okay. So, he was really upset. I don't understand how you can be upset. He said that he understood. And the thing is that, when we got back together this last time, we made an agreement that no matter what happened between us, that we will always remain friends, that we will always be cool, because we had like a really cool relationship. But whenever I broke up with him, he immediately blocked me. My blue bubble started turning green. He blocked me on his main Instagram. And I was like, wow. So I inboxed him on his other Instagram, and I'm like, Sam, I said, I thought that no matter what, that we would always be friends. And he'd always told me that I was an amazing woman. I am such a good woman. Even when we broke up that first time, he told me, he said, Chloe, I want to thank you for, when you broke up with me. He says, yes, I was very pissed off. I was hurt. He was like, but now as it went on, I understand. So you're a very good woman, and you have a certain level of expectations, and you were just really trying to help me to become a better man. And because I am a better man. That's why he went and got a better job. Also, it's like still living in a hotel, but he went and, he's always said that me breaking up with him really helped him to grow in certain ways. So even when I sent that message on his other Instagram account, he was basically like, Chloe, you're a good woman. And he said, I love you. He said, I will always love you. He was like, but it will hurt me too bad to watch you, on social media and going out and doing things and enjoying yourself. And I can't do it with you. And he was like, so I can't, he said, I thought I could be your friend. He was like, but I can't be your friend. He was like, we can't talk. And I know that you're not my woman. And so that was that. That's whenever I was in my other apartment. I've been in this apartment for a year, and that was before my mom got real sick. So that's probably been about 2 years ago. But on his other Instagram, he never did block me. And I've seen in my stories where occasionally he'll be looking at something that I post. So that's that story time. And that story time is about how we are very judgmental of others. But one thing that I've learned in life and what's made me a very humble person whenever it comes to so much, whether it's relationships, marriage, people, women who go back to men who have mistreated them, cheated on them, and all. One of the reasons that I am one of those people, you'll never see me saying, if it was me, I couldn't and I wouldn't. The reason that you will not hear me say that is because, baby, life will make a life. Yeah, my camera stopped because it is overheating because it was sitting in the sun, and then now I'm at 9% battery life. So I need to make sure that I come back here and finish it, because if I cut it off and I don't finish it, then I'm considered being inconsiderate. So I'm holding it because if I put it in the holder over here, it's overheating. I had to just put it in front of my AC in order to cool it down enough to come back and give you this little bit of finishing it off. So basically what I was saying is that life will make a liar out of you. So be very, very careful of thinking that everything is black and white, and being very judgmental of others, because you never know what is in store for you down the road. That's one of the reasons why whenever we say, I'll be glad when 2025 is over, 2024 is over, because 2024 done kicked my butt and I'm ready for this and I'm ready for that. You never know what God has in store for you. You never know what is going to happen further on down the line. So I'm real quick to say, be very careful about rushing the future. So I'm going to go ahead and end this vlog. This vlog is going to be long enough. It's probably just going to be a single vlog by itself. I might go ahead and throw it up today. But you guys, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for listening to my story times. It's just really all about talking about life experiences, and things that I have gone through, and hopefully something that I say is something that you too can relate to. I love you to pieces. I don't have too many men that comment on my vlogs, so I'm sure it's mainly women, but I just want to let you know this sisterhood means everything to me, and I just truly love you all individually and collectively. Love you. Bye.